live, so hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle Show here on the Extreme Improv Xstreamed YouTube channel as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. Now I'm desperately trying to get to the point where I can press this button.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel and cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream, nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Say Hitler's a Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dev's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Wars Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Morrow and Disney loves Blink. And we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6. Everyone watch out, cause oh shit, it's Nick. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle Quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Doc Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo. But in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
Boom, and there we go. We are on the air. Wow, I've never done it that way around before. Right, okay, so we are on the air. Guys, it's been an interesting week. First of all, Norm from Cheers passed away, guys. I'm very sad about it. I watched Cheers a lot growing up, and I've been watching them all over like the last year and a half again, and all the Frasier and all of that extended universe. So that was very sad to hear. So for you, Norm, I'm going to raise a cup. It's not a glass, but I will say cheers. Right, okay, so other things going on in the world. I'm sure there's a lot we need to cover. There is Doctor Who. I don't know who will have seen it. Dave, I'm looking at you, if you have or have not, or if you know the spoilers for the big stuff happening there. Okay, right, and yeah, we're going to find out what else is on our minds. But first, we'll say hello to the people. Tim, say hello, and if you have a random geek trivia fact, give it to us.
Hey, hi, I'm coming at you from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. Wanted to say Jon Stewart was introduced into the Justice League animated show as a way to increase representation for the team, which is pretty darn cool because like his character's fleshed out AF, and I really appreciate that because like the writers are making a character instead of just they're making a character, and I really enjoyed Jon Stewart's character arcs in that animated show.
I just don't quite understand why Jon Stewart has to be in the Justice League. It's just like really confusing.
Yeah.
Right. It took me a moment to understand what you were talking about.
And I really like that his character is not, he's there just for representation. He's actually a really, really good, well-written character.
Yeah,
yes.
Like he's written like a human being, and like, I think the writers paid attention to, Jon Stewart's interests and stuff, just like every other character in the team. But like, I really enjoyed JLU and Justice League, the original one. They're just really good storytelling.
In my opinion, then, even today, there's not has been a show or a DC movie that has ever come close to what they did on the Justice League Ultimate and the original Justice League series.
It really did. They really did a good job, like with the story arc and every season having like a adult themes to it as well. You know, like when
it's big issues. It's really big issues, like political. And also dealing with super beings and things like that. Even though the weird thing was with the whole with superhero things, like I think the creators came out on video when for an anniversary and they said they turned Justice League. They didn't do the show as they would do a DC show because a lot of DC comics tend to be about big ideas but not enough humanization in them. So the creators actually took the Marvel route and put a lot of human elements included in that show to make it more about characters than just big issues themselves.
Yeah. They also made Wonder Woman a little bit more of like a, I guess, less about love and more about like combat, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I watched a video on this and there was a lot
I am
cover.
all for Wonder Bat tip. I am still shipping Wonder Bat.
I mean, that was a fun part, like to see them sort of develop a relationship. Because, like, honestly, Wonder Woman, Superman, I don't know if I'm shipping that.
Never.
They cut the head off that snake very quickly.
Okay, hang on.
Good.
So, like, Superman has Lois Lane. You can't go off with
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. Like, that's terrible.
There are some comics where it has happened.
That's what they did on the New 52, and when I talked with Dave on the DC comics, like that's like the immediate ick when I saw it. I was like, yeah.
Was it the movie that, like, the Nicolas Cage movie, Superman Lives? Was that the one where someone wanted to introduce Supergirl as his love interest?
What?
Well, yeah, there was some movie in development at some point where they wanted Supergirl to be his love interest. And that was
that going to be filmed in some sort of deep, some weird place or I don't know,
but like, well, when you think about it, look, they could have just said, oh yeah, well they're not related in this universe, right? And then they would have done it, but then everyone would have been like they're related. But that's exactly what happened with Rings of Power, where Galadriel is hooking up with who's she hooking up with?
Elrond,
who's her who marries her granddaughter or something in the original. So who knows?
Yeah, but I give you a worse example. I think Batman: The Killing Joke. Barbara Gordon, who is Commissioner Gordon's daughter, she bangs Batman.
Wait, Barbara Gordon bangs Batman.
In the Killing Joke animated film, they made a love. Well, there was a intimate moment between Batman and Barbara Gordon on a rooftop.
Considering that Dick has feelings for her and Dick is Batman's son, yeah, that's messed up in whole many ways, to be honest. Wonder Bat is the thing. Just make that a thing. Keep that a thing.
Well, there you go. Right, speaking of incest, let's get on to some other... oh, actually, hang on, we're still on the intros, I forgot. Captain Fave, say hello to the people.
Hail from the land of leopards and trained elephants.
Oh, no.
Sorry, dude.
Crocodiles. It's me, Capital Dave. You will not catch this reference, but you'll see all the other cast members doing So, yeah, it's a mystery outtake that will be revealed probably 2 years after the Geek Battle show does its anniversary anyways. My Geek Fact for today, I'm going to follow up on the fact that I actually did last Geek Battle about how, psychically empowers the dark gods of the Warhammer universe. There's actually a good way to beat it. And the only species that actually beat it for a while is the Eldar. The Eldar are basically space elves in the 40k universe, and they are the most psychically gifted species of most of all the creatures in the 40k universe. So again, like I said in the previous episode, the more psychic ability you have, the more of an impact you have on the warp. And how the Eldar actually combated that is because, what happens to... So if you're a self-disciplined person who occasionally goes to war to defend yourself, you're still powering the Dark Guard Khorne, the war god, the blood for the blood god, bad chaos god Khorne. But what the Eldar did, they created their own god of war, Cain, who is an honorable god of war who only fights to defend himself, and he's all about self-discipline. He's all about hitting the gym. It's all about improvement. And when the Eldar participate in these activities, they believe they are doing it from the blessing of Cain, not the dark chaos god Khorne. So they just filter out all the psychic energy towards the good deities, the pantheon that they made up. But the problem is, they were such a successful species, they basically won the Warhammer 40k game. And afterwards, you know, what do you do after you win a game? You start installing mods. You start doing different things with the game, and that's what they start to do with the 40k universe. They, you know, once in a while, people go for, you know, go for a bar. They might attend an orgy, but instead, the Eldar just decided that they're gonna do orgies every day inside the bar while they're getting stone drugs on chemicals that will probably kill you. And they literally created the god of debauchery. And unfortunately, they do not have their own version of that god, who's like a good version of that god in their pantheon. So all the debauchery that they did collapsed in on itself, creating the chaos god Slaanesh.
Wow.
And I know none of you caught any of that.
Hey, I was listening to every single word. Like, every word.
I did.
I wasn't.
I've been following 40K. I've been following 40K for a bit. I only watched some Australian guy talk about it, but thank you for that description of how Slaanesh was actually created.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
you started saying about installing mods, and I tuned out. So it's just like, oh, right. You gotta keep it pure cap console.
Yep.
Right.
Resident Evil 4 is better with mods.
I'm sure it is. Right. Okay. Dave, you're literally. You were listening so much, you're playing a video game in the background of your screen.
I know, right? This is what I built in the time it took Cap to finish the story. So, hello everybody, my name is Dave MC here in Paris, France, but I'm currently on the Crystal Isles in Ark Survival Evolved, and my geek fact is a dinosaur fact from Jurassic Park, believe it or not. I just finished the book, and the Tyrannosaur in the book doesn't kill anyone.
Oh.
Maybe he's vegan.
No, well, let me elaborate a little bit. So there are two T-Rexes in the book. There's the adult, and then there's the juvenile. The juvenile kills people.
Yeah.
But the Rex that's kind of like in the film, like the Rexy, doesn't kill anyone in the book.
Fascinating.
Even the Velociraptors?
No, the raptors. The other dinosaurs kill them. The compies do. The Velociraptors kill people. They kill Dr. Wu.
No. I'm saying, did the Tyrannosaurus Rex kill the raptors like
No.
they did in the movie?
No.
Oh.
No.
You're saying that Jeff Goldblum just kills everyone in the book?
So no, Jeff Goldblum dies. Dr. Wu gets. I'm spoiling shit. If you haven't, well, I didn't say how. I just said he did. I didn't say how.
Oh wait, so this might just be like he goes like 70 years later.
Well, here's the funny thing: is because he died in Jurassic Park the book. When Michael Crichton wrote the sequel, somehow he's back.
Yeah, that often happens.
Just somehow he's back. Like they actually go over the fact that he's dead. He's flatlined. He's completely dead as shit.
They need to do the interquel where it shows that they clone him. Like they literally they just like they bring up him and he's in amber like this, and they like take out some of his DNA. And they
just like a mosquito with Jeff Goldblum's face on it.
Yes, I'm going to use AI to envisage this. Right.
Oh god, it is the Fly. It would be the Fly.
Exactly. The Fly is the interquel between Jurassic Park and The Lost World.
But yeah, a lot of like even I'd say the best character change that they made was from like film to book, book to film was Hammond. Like Hammond is better in the films than he is in the books. Because in the books, he's a colossal dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want him to die.
Oh wow.
Because he doesn't care that his his grandkids are out in the park. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Right. Guys, now hang on one second. I'm a little distracted here. Because we are making this movie. Jeff Goldblum, Francie Lambert.
He's looking pretty rough in that one.
Yeah. But we do have one more option. Let's see what we got. There we go.
What's the other one? Let's see.
Yeah, you need to get... Yeah.
He can be the star.
No, fuck.
What?
He could be the star.
Sorry, I fell in a hole.
As you did. Go on, Kat.
I would say, like, one of the things about Jurassic Park, I mean, the sequels could have been really interesting if they went off, like, different points of view, what the scientists did when they had the meeting, should we do Jurassic Park or not. For me, like, that's still the most exciting scene in the show. That shows my nerdness, because, like, I was more fascinated by the arguments they proposed more than the dinosaurs themselves. But I get really bored quickly. But I really thought that when they did individual films, I really thought they would go on the scientific principles that each of the scientists proposed and how they're right or how they're represented their own way. We did get Jeff Goldblum's point of view about, like, what they're doing is bad, that's dangerous, we shouldn't be doing this. That message is pretty clear when man messing with science goes wrong. But what we didn't really get to see is, like, who's the park's owner?
Hammond.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see what of scientific principles of exploration and creating new things, being wondered by creatures. We only got that as a little bit in the movie, and immediately it was shut down by all the tragic events that occurred. And we didn't really get the mutual point of view of the hero of the first film, who thought, yeah, this is kind of cool, but we don't really know anything about this environment. How this will go really depends on the decisions that we make. I really expected for them to do that, because the first movie really does explore, like, scientific principles and ideas and how modern science is going to be changing a lot of things as it goes along.
Well, they kind of do, because in the first film, they kind of like Malcolm is supposed to be like Crichton saying, well, you
asked if you can, not if you should.
Yeah, you asked if you can, not if you should. Yeah. That life will not be contained the way it is, even if you brought something back that doesn't know where it is, it still will not be contained. And like Jurassic World series, they created they kind of went like a allegory for sequels in a way, like, oh, get something bigger, we need something bigger, more dangerous, more teeth, and then they created something that wasn't a dinosaur. They created a monster.
If you were playing God and you looked at a T-Rex and you'd just be like, this poor little bastard, she's got these tiny arms. Just give it big arms and you've got Indominus Rex. Go on, Tim.
I'm so curious because, like, isn't there new research that has shown that dinosaurs were probably also covered in feathers too?
Yeah.
So it's wouldn't it be cool to see like a remastered version of all the Jurassic Park films with dinosaurs now have feathers? Thank you, Steven Spielberg or George Lucas. You can pay me money now.
Yeah, someone should do that.
I think Dave sent me a video reel of like how the animals' ancestors how they used to be, and then I remember a T-Rex walking up to a chicken and then going, remember who you were.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, like all these animals going, I lost my armor, I lost my speed, I lost this, and just a T-Rex and a chicken.
Remember,
okay, guys, I've got it, I've literally got it.
Oh, you found it?
Hang on, mute. Right, okay, so look, I'll bring up the Geek Shield, but the unfortunate thing is, YouTube bit me on the ass last week for the Superman trailer, because Warner Brothers are douchebags, right? So my gentle shield here wasn't gentle, was too gentle. But someone's done this here, so Coolio Art, I'll give credit to them. We won't show the whole thing. So look, accurate dinosaurs.
Mega ultra chicken.
That's really cool.
This is incredible how they did this, how much time they spent doing this.
I would say you need to make them even smaller. If they're velociraptors, they got to be even smaller.
Well, look,
Jeez,
there's
it
going
makes-
to be some limitation to go back and remaster this because
Yeah.
eye lines and that.
It makes chickens look.
No
Oh,
T-Rex
no
models,
T-Rex,
yeah.
no T-Rex.
Oh look, there's Geek Battle.
Let's see if
Geek
there's
Battle's
another one.
on.
Let's see if there's another one. That's amazing.
Wow.
So Coolio Art. So that was 4 months ago. So people should check out their channel because what?
Yeah,
they're doing-
definitely.
they're doing God's work there. What can I say? Right. Okay.
But you know I'm not really sure about how the modern interpretation
hang on.
of this things,
Look. Oh wait. That doesn't have feathers. What's going on?
Well, it will do because
Scientifically
it's at the start.
It's just Big Bird. It's just Big Bird.
Oh no,
There you go.
There you go. Oh, it's so
Wow.
good.
Bagak.
Okay, let's skip it on. We don't want to give the whole thing away.
You just give me the
I mean, this is still scary. This is scary.
Just do the Jurassic Park thing with chickens.
Dude, turkeys are
like-
scary.
I mean, currently we still have like emu birds and ostriches that are still scary. Like
Okay.
they both
No,
both
go
can
ahead.
kill you.
Right, so what
I'm saying,
happened? What happened, right? How come we don't have any giant animals anymore? It's like this world sucks. Like, where
Oxygen.
are the giant
Did
animals?
you forget the one thing that is called the elephant?
Yeah,
Hey, guys, I
but
gotta
that's
head out.
nothing compared to
Sorry.
like a T-Rex.
Oh, see you later, Tim.
All right, take it easy,
Right,
guys.
take care,
Love
Tim.
y'all.
Bang.
Yeah,
And
it's,
you were saying,
yeah, it's nothing compared to like a T-Rex in scale, is it? Size.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, the problem is because like when dinosaurs were here, there was a higher rated oxygen presence.
Yep.
There was a lot of mineral presence that actually led them to grow. And when the Ice Age came, well, the dinosaurs kind of bought it, but
What
like
killed the dinosaurs? The ice.
the Ice Age, yeah. So when the Ice Age came again for mammals, it worked out really good because like cold environments are really good for gigantic animals. And then after the world started to warm up again, then went bye-bye for big furry mammals. So unless we get another Ice Age, I don't think giant animals are going to be a thing. Unless, of course, gene editing. We can technically give growth hormones to any animal and make it bigger than we want to be. We breed dogs to be way bigger than they ever meant to be.
I think we should breed everything to be huge.
What, like a giant rabbit or something?
Yeah. Well,
Well, then we're gonna
Yeah,
need,
but-
well, then magicians are gonna have to change their act to make bigger hats.
No, Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, you're not thinking ahead here. You make the giant hat first, then you make the rabbit that fits it.
Oh, I see.
You know the funny thing with the birds, feathers, and things. I think that there's proof that how are their imaginings of dinosaurs were wrong because they give the artists who get skeletons and they imagine drawings for how the dinosaur would be. They gave those scientists a hippo head and see, okay, this is from a dinosaur or a creature from ancient prehistoric period. How do you think this will look like? And they didn't know this was a hippo skull. And what they came up with is truly a monstrous dinosaur's
That's
creation.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How
If you Google,
So who were
if
these
you
people
Google
that
it.
made it? Okay, what am I googling?
see like how like scientists thought hippos looked like based on their skeletons.
Okay, so I think I found it. The skull, hippo skull.
Yeah, because it was a whole thing with Jurassic
Wow.
Park anyway. Like a lot of people discredit it now because the animals are. Oh, wait, is that it?
See?
So
See,
this
see?
is
Whoa!
a hippo skull.
Yeah. What
And
they
that's what
came
I
up with is that.
That's like something out of Godzilla.
Yeah.
It is. Don't like.
So,
I don't know, guys, what your personal feelings are on hippos, right? But don't you just hate the fact that they're like the most dangerous animal in the world, and they look ridiculous? They look like fat. Like, look, let's look at a hippo just a second here, right?
but David, you're
This is
just,
the most dangerous
imagine-
thing in the world. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but David, you're just looking at the packaging. You didn't look at what's hiding inside. If it opens its mouth, it's a fucking scary animal.
What
It's
this?
got like tusks.
This.
That's a tiny baby. Look at the big ones. They
Yeah.
got tusks like the size of.
Well, that's why they made the pygmy hippo. So you had something less intimidating.
Look at
Tiny.
that. Jesus. That is crazy.
I remember when I got the animal toys when you get little toys that resemble animals. I didn't know what I got when I got the hippo. I didn't even know what the hippo was, but it had the hippo opening its mouth. So I immediately picked up that and like, hey, whatever play story I'm doing, this is the villain, because this looks nasty.
How does one get down here?
Oh, what's it called?
What?
Right. So yeah, I think the thing that's done the biggest disservice in the world to hippos, Cap, you'll appreciate this. Is this? It's like doesn't make it seem scary, does it?
I mean, if you're going to talk about the wacky world of Madagascar, let's not forget that Num and the giraffe wanted to bang that.
Well,
He's
who
got
can
a point.
blame
He's
it?
got
I
a
mean,
point
look
there.
At this. Like it's.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
Why
Like,
has it got like a crab? It's got crabs. It has crabs.
Yeah.
They did not think this out.
No. Hindsight
Madagascar is
2025.
That's,
Madagascar
do
is
you remember the
weird.
poster for Yogi Bear which said "Good things come in bears"? Do you remember
What?
That-
Yogi
What?
Bear poster? Inappropriate. Like, hang on, this might be dodgy. Right?
Inappropriate.
Yeah, no, that's it came up on the search, right? So let's have a look here. So yeah, so there's the phrase. Well, I don't even know if it is a phrase, but like great things come in pairs, and so they did the rhyme, and they said great things come in bears with Yogi behind Boo Boo like this. Great things come in bears.
Oh god, that is disturbing. That is disturbing.
The face. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, they look like one of those, the totem poles, with like different faces on them.
Yeah.
I've never seen a totem pole look that excited.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, we have a dev in the room
yeah.
Is he there?
with
I
an
can't see him.
adipose. I love it. Dev, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Good. What's up, Doc? Right. Hey, Cap. I stole.
Hey,
your
that's
catchphrase.
my line.
Yeah, I know. There you go. Yeah, Dev. We were just talking about how great things come in bears. I don't know if you remember this, this poster from years ago, but there we go. Dev, how are you? Say hello to the people.
I'm good. Hello to the people, and it's great to be here. My geek fact of the week was in the 1994 Street Fighter movie, the actor who played Zangief was only 24 years old at the time.
In the Street Fighter movie.
Yes.
Wow. He could still play Zangief now.
Speaking of, breaking news about that, 4 people have been cast in Street Fighter.
Am I one of them, Dev?
No, Roman Reigns, Jason Momoa, and
Wait,
the
you
main
can't have
actor
Jason
from-
Momoa and Roman Reigns at the same time.
Yes.
They're the same person.
They are brothers. I think there's characters who are brothers, right? Akuma and someone else, right?
Yeah, Kuma and Goken.
Wait, so hang
so
on.
they also
Is this the
cast
Street
Steven-
Fighter movie that was in development hell?
Yes.
So
They cast it today. They announced it today.
wait a second. So look, I can bring up this story here. Oh, once again, screwed deadline, right? Okay. So, oh my God! Don't redirect me back to the article in 9 seconds, you idiot.
You've been redirected.
Right, okay, so look at this. Right, so basically, who are they? They're all the same, like these 3 guys are all going for the same character. Like, who are they going to play?
I
People
mean,
are saying Alex and Hugo, maybe.
Hugo from Final Fight.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's in Street Fighter
No,
3.
Hugo is based on our... Look, guys, let me show you this. If you're not a wrestling fan, Hugo in Final Fight is based on Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Final Fight. Andre.
And Alex is based off Hogan.
Yes. So look, Andre the Giant, they basically just completely ripped him off to create this monster. He is absolutely in every conceivable way Andre the Giant. There is no way Jason Momoa is playing this guy. Well, he might be, but he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Right.
The only casting I like is the guy that go for Ryu, who was in Warrior.
Oh, is that this guy on the left here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Wow.
Who's gonna cast for Ken? John Morrison?
No, stop trying to get that guy work, Cap. Right?
Maybe it'll be Chai Courtney. What's his name?
Oh my...
Ah!
Chai, like chai latte.
I don't bloody know.
Yeah.
Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney.
Boomerang
Yeah, Jai Courtney will be Ken.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
I read about him the other day, actually. Apparently he said to James Gunn about, like, oh, you know, I think you should bring back Captain Boomerang. Now he's and apparently James Gunn told him, well, you know, it's a comic book movie. There's always ways. But I think Jai Courtney is one of one in the world who is begging for that character to return.
I mean, the only movie that I liked him in, he was in the movie called I, Frankenstein, I believe, and he played a gargoyle. He had a really cool act that I
Wasn't
really
he
liked.
in one of the Terminators?
Yes,
Yeah,
he was in
Genesis.
Terminator Genesis.
That was not good.
That was
not good.
just
The
I
one where the
don't.
Doctor was Skynet.
Yeah,
But if you...
the less said about Genesis, the better.
Guys, one day we'll have to put aside and like plan this, just so we have like we're going to do some deep dive episodes. Like it was on the plan at the start of the year, but you know things have changed a little bit. But we'll catch back up there, where we'll just have like a Terminator special and we'll dissect them all. But Jai Courtney just utterly butchered the role of Kyle Reese, and then after putting him in Terminator, or maybe before, they made him John McClane's son. And they just destroyed the Die Hard franchise as well. He is just a franchise killer.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, but if you...
What about Shia LaBeouf?
What about Shia?
I mean-
franchise killer?
Yeah.
I mean, David, if
Is
you
he
Google...
look, Transformers did pretty well.
That was all
David,
Bay's
Google-
fault, and we know it.
David, Google Jai Courtney and I, Frankenstein with an axe.
Speaking of Michael Bay, guess what? Him and Michael Fox, Megan Fox are doing now.
I
Ford?
dread to think.
Outrun.
Outrun. What's Outrun?
Yeah. The video game. The video
Yeah, they
game.
should be playing video games. Right, why can't I spell Frankenstein? It doesn't like come up with anything for Jai
That's
Courtney.
Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein. Right, okay.
If nothing comes out, type in Frankenstein monster.
No, I've got it. So wait, he isn't playing the monster, is he?
No,
No,
that's
he's-
the other
he's-
guy. This guy was Two-Face in The Dark Knight.
That's
He's-
the
he's
monster.
playing-
Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah,
Shit, did they have
He's
no
playing-
budget for the makeup?
No,
No, he's,
yeah, it was just him with just a couple of scars on him.
That is
Yeah, but-
bollocks.
It
Yeah, but
was
check-
bollocks.
no, I actually like this one. But David, if you click the link that I put in the StreamYard chat, that actually, again, like this is my favorite Jai Courtney movie because he just had a cool axe, and it's the coolest axe.
Right, yeah, just whilst we're appreciating Aaron Eckhart here, how come he was in like The Dark Knight? Because literally that's the only film he's ever done of note ever. And everything else he's done is a dumpster fire.
I've only seen him in The Dark Knight.
Exactly.
I think he,
I've seen
I
a
think
bunch
he-
of DVD stuff.
Straight
yeah,
to
he has
DVD.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where's the axe? Where's the picture that
There's
I
an
uploaded?
axe.
Why didn't?
Wow.
Why does he have an axe?
Wow, that is a really cool axe, Cap.
What is this?
No,
shit I'm
no.
bringing up? Frankenstein.
Where is that view page?
Don't know. Right. Anyway, guys. Now I think we've done with our intros. Let's briefly talk at least. At least to begin with. Go on, Cap. What have you got?
Okay, I saw Doctor Who Midnight, and I also saw the library episode, and I also saw the one where they meet the devil.
You need to
of
watch The
them
Waters
are-
of Mars. The Waters of Mars.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna watch it with him.
So yeah, that's why I'm saving that.
What, The
but
Waters of
all the
Mars?
others.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch The Waters of Mars
How
with
are
him
you,
because
how are
it's
you
one of
going
my
to watch
favourites.
this together, guys? Let's coordinate this shit.
Yeah, definitely. I'll arrange it.
Discord.
Yeah, fine. Okay, yeah, no, we should do that. Yeah, no. The
Yeah,
Waters-
definitely.
Okay, so what were your
But
thoughts?
here-
Go for it, Cap.
Okay, here are my thoughts. Okay, the first thing I saw was Midnight, and it was phenomenal. It's I mean, like that's it's even better than the Weeping Angels, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Because this is cosmic horror at its finest. We don't know what that monster is, and the weird way it's actually being posing as a threat. And in this one, the Doctor is actually afraid. He's actually afraid of what's going to happen. He's not even afraid in the devil episode.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's actually afraid, and that gives it an extra. Then I saw the library one, which wasn't that good compared to Midnight.
Wait, not compared to
don't-
Midnight. Not compared to
No.
Midnight.
Yeah. But I think the problem is, David, is because, like, the Swarm, I think that it lost its cosmic horrorness when it just became a normal Predator in the Shadows. Now it's a hive mind, and all you got was like a skeleton that's bobbing up on you.
Well, do you know, see, something I'll definitely agree with there. Doctor Who is very, very guilty since it came back in 2005, even probably still up to today. So many of the monsters, they just turn you into a skeleton where it's all joined still, which obviously doesn't happen, right? It just turns you into a skeleton and you're just a skeleton, you know, which is a shame. And the thing which I thought was a shame about the library episode was the other side of it, the parallel dimension, the little girl, stuff like this. You just needed the monster, the Vashna Narada. What a cool name as well. Where
Yep.
it's like, but the best lines in it, if I remember, was like, you see, you know, sometimes you see them, the little specks of dust in the light, you know, and a cat might go missing or something in the woods. Occasionally a person goes missing, but then all of a sudden there's this huge concentration of them. And it was a fantastic idea. It makes you scared of shadows. Midnight, you don't see the thing. Like, there's the bit where they look out the window and he's just like, there, and they don't show you. Fantastic storytelling.
I think that was even more impactful because, again, even the Vashna Narada, the Doctor knew a little bit about it. And again, he wasn't afraid of it. He literally challenged the Vashna Narada at a point, like, you're in a place of, So, but in the Midnight one was it, because, like, they're on a planet that is completely inhabitable. No one knows what was out there. And they showed something that we don't get to see. And we don't really know a lot about it at all. Yeah. Nothing is crucially revealed, except for the fact that we know it's highly dangerous because, like, we see how the Doctor reacts to it. And we also see how cabin fever is done in a very good way, with a lot of people panicking and throwing over stuff. I think that is, like, that's actually the strongest writing, I think, of the whole show. Because, again, this is mostly done with actors. Even with the Weeping Angels, you had that suspenseful thing that cuts away and then does freak you out through that. But this one is, like, done entirely through character interactions and dialogue, which I thought was, like,
well,
I really loved it.
Well,
like,
I agree. First of all, though, guys, I'm going to point out, look behind me, Vashna Narada, right there, see it? There it is, Vashna Narada. Right,
Can you see that? Like, right over there in the distance on the map. Can you see that?
What?
I see something there.
Where?
There's something coming towards me. There's something there.
See,
what is it? What is it? What is it? Is it here? Where is it? Oh, it's a fish.
Oh. Right, no. What I'll agree with, absolutely, is you think whatever makeup they do or whatever CGI they do, CGI ages, however good it seems when you first do it, it all ages. And practical effects are limited. You know, they get the lighting right and stuff like this, it's still limited. And when you kill someone and they suddenly just turn into a skeleton, it's like, well, that doesn't really make sense. But just having, like in Midnight, like there's just the woman and she's like this. And then you turn around and it's still her face, but the eyes, it's like, oh, that's freaky.
Yeah.
because it's real. It's literally real, and I think like I love the movie The Thing, or like we spoke about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think the scariest stuff is where you take something that seems completely normal and completely safe, and you make it not safe. So when you see someone you know, but now suddenly they might be something else, that's scary. When it's the idea of, oh, there's just a statue, the makeup on the statues when they've got the scary faces, because there's real humans underneath. They're masks and they're like slightly bigger, and it kind of looks a little less real, right? But when you just see them like this and it's just like the person's face, that's when they're most effective. And, and just very quickly, and so the idea that they suddenly have in various episodes, so you haven't seen Waters of Mars, but they make the idea of water scary. They make the idea of shadows scary. In a season 5 episode, they make the idea of there's a crack on the wall, and now suddenly that's scary, because especially children, but anyone, they'll look up and say, I've got a crack in the wall. And it's just like you take the simplest things and you can weaponize them into something scary.
And again, it's more about the implication than what it actually is.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the Vashta kind of lost its groove, because I think they explained it a little too well instead of relying on the implication. But for the Midnight Monster, it's all implication. That's the best thing about that whole thing. And oh my god, how do you guys did so cosmic horror in such a good way, like Lovecraftian level? That's like so amazing. I've not seen anything like Midnight.
Well, because Cap, that was back in the days when Doctor Who was good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You know, I feel like the old one. I feel like the old one out because my taste in Doctor Who episodes matches no ones I know.
Okay, so wait, what's your taste, Dev?
I like stuff like when all the companions have to like team up together, and like,
I like that too.
stuff like and stuff.
Ah.
All the,
Wait.
all the companions.
What was that
The
reaction
past.
to, Dave? Or were you playing your game?
No, literally, that's like, end it. Like, just no.
No.
Carry on, Dev. I'll
No,
explain,
okay,
I'll
why
explain
not?
my
Dev,
point.
Dev,
No,
do you
I'll
like-
explain my point in a second. Not because I fucked up building something.
All right.
I'll go inside.
Dev, so can you say like a specific episode?
So like that episode where the Doctor like Donna turns left.
Yeah,
and
I
this
love
entire
that
thing
episode.
happens when it shows all the companions trying to survive without the Doctor, and like like Torchwood dies, Jack dies, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like when Mickey and Martha and everyone had to like team up and save them against the Master. That one episode, and the one where.
So what is
Jack,
it? No, do you remember where Davros comes back? And then literally that is where they have where Rose comes back just after turn left. So they've got Rose, the Dr. Donna, they've got Captain Jack and cameos from Torchwood, Sarah Jane, cameos from K9, Mickey, Martha, Billy Piper's mum. They've got all these people together. That's great. I love that stuff too.
That for me was where it got too much. Like the Stolen Earth and Journey's End. That's Journey's End was the one that got. I was annoyed with that in the beginning anyway because they did the tease of the regeneration.
Oh, that was great. That was the best.
But I wish they follow. I
time.
wish they followed through. I really wish they followed through.
Yeah, however, right? But if they'd done that, we'd have never got like the Waters of Mars and stuff with David Tennant. You needed a few extra episodes.
Yeah. I get that. It's just that I felt like in Journey's End left a weird just in that point, like the first opening minutes of Journey's End left that taste in my mouth. Like, oh, here are Mickey and Jackie now, and I'm just like.
Yeah, I get that.
Where were you in the last episode? Like, you could have come in the last one with Rose, you could have all split up to try to find him.
Yeah.
But instead, they just like, it felt like they were just shoehorned in at the last minute.
I agree. There is the aspect that you can tell that the people that make Doctor Who, especially in that era, were kind of like, we'll bring in our friends kind of thing. So it's like, we've got to find a reason for Jackie. And then the Doctor will make, oh, no, Jackie, not you, don't help, stuff like that, right? But there is the aspect. I hate when there is like shitty dialogue that doesn't make sense, And when Martha's there and Jack is there and Donna is there, David Tennant just goes, everyone but Rose. And I'm like, what about Ace? What,
Yeah.
you know, what about any of... Where's Susan?
Yeah,
Goddamn
yeah.
it, right?
Ace, Mel, Tegan,
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Susan.
You know,
Any of
go
them.
save Adric back in time and bring him in as well. Right?
No,
But the
no,
point
can't
is-
do that. Can't do that.
I
No,
get it,
don't do
I get
that.
it, right, but
Don't
the
do
point
that.
is, but the point is, then when David Tennant regenerates in I forget which story afterwards, it's clarified that he went back and saw all of his past companions. Was that Matt Smith in the Sarah Jane Adventures?
No,
Saying
that
he
was
went-
Last of the Time Lords.
Yeah, no, I
was
know.
it? Yeah.
But like, so he went and saw like Martha and Mickey, and he saved them from the Centaurian. He went and he saved all of that era. He hooked up Captain Jack with Sailor Boy or whatever his name was, right?
Alonzo.
Alonzo, that's it. And then so you only saw him meet up with or touch on the lives of that era's companions. But I think in a Sarah Jane episode where they brought back, who did they bring back in a Sarah Jane episode? One of the old companions. I don't think it
Joe
was
Grant.
Joe Grant,
yeah.
that's it, right? So there was something where Matt Smith said about, before my last regeneration, I went back and saw them all. Right? So that was like a nice idea as well. So
Yeah.
in which case, so by that point, and maybe that's because probably Russell T Davies was still in charge of Sarah Jane Adventures, but he kept it too much in a bubble. Whereas obviously going into the Jodie Whittaker era, they were like, yeah, we're going to bring back Ace. We're going to bring back some of the ones that doesn't make any sense for modern viewers to watch, but character-wise, the Doctor shouldn't forget all these people. And then, so it's going to bring me just to segue onto, if you haven't watched it, Dave, that's up to you. Susan is back.
Come again.
Did you not see? Look, Dave, I've given the.
Well,
spoiler.
look. Here's the thing. The only thing I know was what appeared on my screen, which was about the Rani.
Yes.
And that was the only thing that I got. Oh God, no, not the Rani. And then they said, oh, we brought in bi-generation back, and I'm like, that's you brought back the worst aspect of the three-part with David Tennant, and you did it to a character who hasn't been on screen since the 80s.
Yeah. I don't mind the idea of them bringing back the Rani. We can get into that to a second, but let me just show
Yeah,
you
the
here.
Rani is really cool.
Yeah, look, so they literally brought back Susan Foreman. They brought back the Doctor's granddaughter.
Wait, hang on. Doctor Who? Who is Susan? If you don't know who Susan is, you're a moron.
Wait,
Like,
you
you
said that?
Susan!
I know, I said that. I'm saying that. That was literally the quote on the picture that you shared. Like, everything you need to know.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
is Susan? Right? Wait, if you don't know who Susan is, hand in your Doctor Who fan badge now.
Well, yeah.
I don't have one, Dave. I just literally started
You're
watching.
exempt. You're exempt from this cap.
But what
You're
I
a
will
doctor.
say, the however there is, in the last season, Susan Tech. I hate that idea that would be a clue to Susan. I don't know what. You are not alone, Yana. It's like, well, why didn't the face of Bo just say it's the master, right? Right. So I hate this kind of coded. Oh, Sue-Tech. It must mean Susan Tech because there's only one Susan in the world, right? One second, right? So other than that, when you look back at the last 20 years of Doctor Who, you had a couple of moments where David Tennant goes, I was a father once, and then doesn't discuss it, which throughout the history...
Because he married his wife.
Right, but throughout the whole history, I think in Ncuti's first season, they kind of almost backpedaled on him being a father, because they said about, oh, it's different as a time, or something like that. I forget the exact details. You guys might be able to fill it in. But I think people who watched last year were like, no, yeah, you should actually bring back Susan. She's an old lady now, whilst you still can. And so they are. He just had visions of her, and we don't know where it's going yet. But anyone else? Go on,
David,
Deb.
do you mean last week's episode?
Yeah.
Because I watched that because it's the Eurovision, right?
Yeah.
I like Eurovision. And that entire episode was like, what the fuck did I walk into? It's like a callback central to, like, nobody who watches it now would know the references it was making.
To what? Which ones other than
Unless you were
Susan?
Die Hard.
Well, like Susan and the Rani.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the Rani has been obvious since Mrs. Flood turned up day one. Rani, Rain. It's another anagram. Sutek, Yana, Rain, Rani. It's just like, it's garbage. Go on, Cap.
This has nothing to do with what all of you guys just said. But because Dev brought up like taste in Doctor Who, I think for me, what I'm watching, what I really get, it's so Doctor Who in itself, for me, he feels like a cosmic horror on its own. He's an anomaly. That, like, in a sense, the same incorporation of the Men in Black, except just a one guy who's like traveling throughout time, encountering different sorts of things. And yes, go on.
Men in Black does exist in the Doctor Who. It's called the Unit.
It has the same vibe, because like when I watch these cosmic horror episodes, it has the same vibe of Men in Black, and that's what I really like about it. But that's why, like, I never really got into the character stuff, because like I find the people who interact with Doctor Who as characters as fine, but like getting to know the Doctor in sort of any sort of personal way doesn't really feel that good to me, because for me, it's great if he's just an anomaly. He's like a deja vu. He's like the thing in time that you feel that, oh, did I see him, or did I not see him, or did I have this moment before?
Yeah, Cap, you just summed it all up in one phrase. Doctor Who.
Yeah, see, it's in the name. So the more you flush him out as a human or any sort of thing, I think you'll lose the mystery, because like from the episodes, the self-contained episode we've seen, right, with David Tennant, it's again, it feels like he's like this strange, weird dude who's interacting with like other strange things, and the other characters are bonkers by this, because they're also kind of worried about him, also the monsters, and that's where the tension lies. And if you make him humanize a lot more, I think you're gonna lose that.
Wait,
I would only say that when I think the Doctor stopped being Doctor Who was with Patrick Troughton in the War Games, when they introduced the Time Lords. That's when I think the mystery was gone, because then the Doctor would constantly reference, you know, I am a Time Lord, I'm this, that, and the other. And I think the best thing that Russell did with the new series was when he killed off the Time Lords.
Dave, don't you technically think that the Timeless Child brings up the question of Doctor Who again?
I will strangle you through the camera.
You're the one that
if you
just
bring
said that knowing too much about him took away that Doctor Who. The Timeless Child literally just meant, well, who is he then?
No, the Timeless Child answers the question. He's another being from God knows what fucking universe.
Exactly.
My point is, if we're talking pre-Timeless Child, there was still the mystery, but it wasn't like in Peter Davison till Sylvester McCoy, we had the whole thing with the Time Lords. You know, the Time Lords became more characters, you know, that they were on screen, you know, and I think, as I said, the best thing that Russell did was kill them off, because then we had more adventures in the universe. You know, we had the Time War that happened in between, and the Time Lords are gone.
Yeah.
So there's no more of that. We don't need to worry about them anymore. We can just get back to what was good about it, which was going through time and space.
Because like again, like I have zero idea of the lore, right? So whenever they like, you remember the Devil episode, it mentions the killer of your own kind or something like that, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but it sounds cool. It sounds cool as hell. And then when the Doctor threatens the Bashtan Narada, look me up, and it does, and you go, okay, you have one day. That's where the coolness lies. Like, oh, he is this freaky thing that people should be worried about this too. So, again, the more you bring up, let me give you a Warhammer example. In the Warhammer, you have the Emperor of Mankind, right? There's several different origin stories for the Emperor of Mankind, and no one really knows who he is. One origin story says he's a 13 shaman in a French coat. Basically, 13 shamans thought what the humanities what will face in the future, so they psychically link together, become this one epic psychic being. That's not canon either. That's just one explanation. There's one explanation where in the war in heaven, the old ones created the Emperor, a warp machine to combat the Immaterium, the Chaos God. That's not even canon. Some people believe the right-hand man of the Emperor, who's a really powerful psyker, who's conjuring this immortal being, a godlike being, but just being a puppet master to this whole thing. When you have like these different fan theories, and again, it's the mystery that allows you to be creative with whatever you do. Like Dave could come up with the story when the Vashta specifically was afraid of Doctor Who. Why David, you can come up with the story why it is so dangerous that the Midnight shouldn't copy the Doctor. Because like what it will learn could end up to something. So again, there's a lot of possibilities. That's what cosmic horror is. You just allow possibilities.
Go on, Dev.
Two things. First of all, the Emperor is simply Henry Cavill. And the second thing is...
No. The Emperor
most
won't
impressive-
be Henry Cavill.
The most impressive thing the Doctor has done for me is that one clip where he's like, look me up, I'm quite dangerous. And he goes like, it's impressive but not quite dangerous. And he says, under cause of death. And then it starts beeping like crazy.
Yeah.
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 Right. Okay, so just very quickly, I found this here. So this is the Rani as they've got it now. They did the bi-generation, which is just like, is there going to be an explanation for why the Doctor bi-generated? There's never been one before, and then immediately another Time Lord could do that. We've had this character speaking to the camera in every episode she's been in, and then they show that this guy who was just like the internet troll, there's some unholy trinity or whatever they're calling them. It's like, why is this guy a threat? He was just on social media.
Okay. For plausibility, I'll give them some sort of credit in that the Rani potentially could do it because she is a chemist. She could do it.
Do what? Oh, bi-generate.
But she could learn the physiology to be able to bi-generate because she was a scientist. She was good with chemicals. But that doesn't mean she should.
Well, yeah.
Because now there's that question of, why can't the Master do it? That way we actually rebuild the Time Lord race. You know.
Yeah. Well,
do we want to give the Master nothing he can do though? He's done a lot that other Time Lords haven't done.
Yeah. I don't think they should. Look, here's the interesting thing about it. No offence to Anita Dobson, she was in EastEnders years ago. She was Angie Den, Dirty Den's wife. She's 170 years old, right? If you were going to do something where there's a double threat, don't have like the oldest woman in the universe play this character to then turn into someone who, I looked this actress up, I don't know her name, Archie Panjabi. She's like 52 as well. And it's just like you've regenerated someone who's like 190 years old into someone that's 50 years old. It's not thinking long term in terms of the story, the character, and stuff like this. Well, because it's Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi, I think he's pretty much said he'd never come back as the Doctor. He could barely do it. Doctor Who is, and don't we run? It's like, well, if you're going to have actors that literally can't do the stuff to make it remotely believable. But I'm interested to see what they do with the Rani, but I don't think they should have had this internet troll guy there as well. But I'll be interested to see what they're doing. Dev?
Wasn't John Sim old when when Derek Jacobi regenerated into him?
No.
What did you just say?
He was young and vital, like Derek Jacobi. John Sim was probably in his mid-30s. So
Do not
John
besmirch the
Sim
name of my favourite master,
is
Derek
54
Jacobi.
years old now, and he became the master, I think, in 2008. Right, so he was in his 30s.
Do not besmirch the
Why
name of
isn't
Jacobi.
Gary Oldman the doctor? Or the
Who?
master? Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is the master.
Because he's an old man.
Yeah. No, like, see, here's the thing, right? Well, look, here's my other point where I'm just like, obviously, everyone's going to think I'm ageist and against Angie Watts here from EastEnders. Is, right, is that when they had the two master storyline, where they had John Sim back, and they had Missy. Missy was brilliant casting and seemed a threat in her own right. And then when they brought back John Sim, it really worked. And now you've got two of the master. You've got two Ranis. We haven't even seen one Rani since the 80s.
Yeah.
So they haven't.
And two doctors.
And they're literally, Dave, if you haven't seen it, the dialogue was, she ejaculated her out of her crotch, and she was like, "Oh, I've bi-generated," and she's like, "Well, you may be a Rani, but I am the Rani," and then she still called her Mrs. Flood. It's like they don't understand what they're doing. Because the 15th Doctor said to David Tennant, "Well, I'm the older one." It's like, no, you're not. You split in half. One of you isn't older than the other.
Russell, what the fuck were you smoking in the green room when you thought this was a good idea? Because now it's made the now special thing of the Doctor not so special anymore, because now everybody can do it.
But literally, he's not even the Doctor anymore.
No, he's not the Doctor anymore. He's a Doctor.
Isn't there like 5 of them running around now?
With this logic, because she says,
Dev,
"You may be
there's
a Rani."
there's 13 of them running around. They're still out there in the universe. They don't. It's not all linear. It's not all one story to the next story. It's
no, but there's like 5 David Tennants.
Stories.
What's that, Dev?
There's like 5 David Tennants.
There are loads of David Tennants out there. They
So
just can't actually ever kill him.
Regular one. Parallel universe.
So does that mean that every person gonna eventually become the Doctor Who?
Hey, look! Imagine if it. I've said that theory myself, probably, on this show before. What was if it turned out everyone was a different iteration of the Doctor at some point?
Yeah, it's just like after a person invents time travel, he just, after doing everything, he literally makes the universe himself, just by like.
But to be honest, the Master did that as well.
Yeah, the Master already did that. It wasn't good then. It's not good now.
No. But what was I about to say? Yeah, so.
But David, do your gif. You can't just back off it. I know what you
Finish the joke.
Yeah, right. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so they did the. David Tennant had his hand cut off. Then he regenerated, put the energy into that, which grew the Meta-Crisis Doctor. So when David Tennant then regenerated, there was still another one of him. And then the 14th Doctor was a David Tennant. And when they came to kill him off again, they were like, "We really can't kill you, David Tennant, because we'll want you back at some point." So they split him into 2. And so whilst all this is happening with the Rani, or whatever else that, the Toy Maker and all this other stuff, literally David Tennant is just like chilling out with
To
Donna
be honest
and
with
Will.
you guys, I think David Tennant episodes are... the reason is because it's not just that he's good, the episodes are really good. And when I watched Matt Smith, the problem I had was Matt Smith was fine. I didn't have any problems with Matt Smith. Matt Smith was basically David Tennant, but on a higher caffeine dosage. But it worked out great. But the problem was the episodes were not that great, as I would say David Tennant was, because the Weeping Angel episode that they did with Matt Smith. That's why I thought, okay, Doctor Who probably not something for me.
No, right. Okay, there's so many good Matt Smith storylines.
There are.
Everything with River Song from that Silence in the Library storyline gets much better as it develops with Matt Smith. And literally, Stephen Moffat himself said that he took the concept of the book, and then obviously it was a film as well, The Time Traveler's Wife, and used it as the basis as 2 time travelers who meet each other in reverse order. We know where River Song's story ends up. But so she keeps popping up throughout Matt Smith's run and into Peter Capaldi's run. That's fantastic. The stuff with Amy and Rory is really good. I think they got the companions really good there. The silence didn't work for me quite so well, but there's so much good stuff in the Matt Smith era.
There is. I will back you up on that one.
Recommend me some cosmic horror stuff from Matt Smith, and I'll give you.
I tell you what. Well,
God Complex.
I don't know if I can say like cosmic horror, because is that just so that you don't know the full details? What's that even mean? That it's like left unknown.
So with I think unknown is a good idea, but their cosmic horror tends to be like idea-based horror movies. They tend to be
Quite
interesting.
concept.
Yeah. So if you think about like Halloween, right? Halloween, the Michael Myers movie, is a terrible thing because it had the type of concept of Halloween and it only had a serial killer.
Which one is the one with the dollhouse? The dollhouse.
Oh, that one. Oh, crikey! Yeah, you're right.
Dollhouse.
Yeah, it's where the kid has the dollhouse that's haunted.
That one's in the back of my memory. I'll tell you a really good one. A really good episode. Well, okay, I need to bring up a list. I can't remember. Right.
So,
okay.
Cap, I got two for you. Go for the God Complex, which is based in a hotel, and then you've got the one that Dev recommended. But also, I would say check out Asylum of the Daleks.
Daleks are not scary.
No, trust me.
No, so they are.
Check out Asylum of the Daleks.
Okay.
You will like it, and you will like the twist.
Okay, so mine was called Night Terrors, apparently.
Night Terrors.
Okay, so I got God Complex, Asylum of the Daleks. What else?
Right, I'll tell you something. So, fair enough, if you weren't as enamoured with The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, I would say from that same season, the story Amy's Choice is really good.
Oh,
that's a really good one. It's a different tone. If you think like Midnight or Weeping Angels feel very serious, this one isn't necessarily a serious feeling, but it's a really good story that will keep you thinking about it. The Lodger is really good, in my opinion. It depends if you like James Corden or not, because he's the guest star in it.
I like Baby.
I love that story. I think it's a really good episode. I think the Doctor is really quirky in it.
He is.
But let's have a quick look at season 6. The episode, the Doctor's Wife. Yeah, that's a good episode. But what's the really?
I think Dev said it was Night Terrors.
What's the one with the gangers? Oh, Let's Kill Hitler is a good episode as well.
Oh, is that Into the Flesh?
Oh, something like that. It's something like that. Or maybe that's even the next season.
Almost
actually.
People.
Almost Human. I think it was Almost Human.
Something like that.
Almost People.
Almost People. You're right. Yeah, the Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. Yeah. No, there's loads of good, and what's so good about it is that the story that builds up gets better and better, in my opinion.
So they're not self-contained.
There's a lot of self-contained stories, but also like Russell T Davies, like when he brought back Doctor Who, the whole Bad Wolf thing, that's like a through line. The idea of planets disappearing and the bees disappearing or whatever like this. They always have these through lines. They lean slightly more into it in the Matt Smith era, but I think that enriches it because, there's some good mysteries and stuff. Dev,
would I know it's not 11th Doctor, but would the Silence in the Library count as a cosmic horror?
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I saw that one. Not as good as Midnight.
No.
Yeah.
I would agree. It's not as good as Midnight. And for me, Midnight. You think, like, how cheap was that episode to make? One location.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
7 or 8 actors.
Yeah.
You know.
It was a bottle episode. It was a bottle episode.
Yeah. It was a one-off.
Yeah, but
nothing tied to anything.
Yeah, but it was all written so well. I think a lot of the constraints bring out the best writing, and it was written so well, and it was acted so well as well.
Yeah.
I was just having a look at Doctor Who Series 7, and I think Asylum of the Daleks, is that the one you said?
That's the one I recommended.
Okay. I need to rewatch that. Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, written by Chris Chinballs, was utter shit.
Feck off.
Right, I looked up Chris Chinball literally yesterday about what I was like. Why did they put this guy in charge of Doctor Who? Apparently, fairness to him, because like Broadchurch, if you ever saw that show, was really good. Season 1, fantastic. Season 2, it continued it. It was pretty good. Season 3, meh. Right, but apparently, I didn't realise this until I looked it up yesterday. He was the lead writer on Torchwood. So he wasn't the showrunner, but he was the lead writer. He wrote Day 1, The Cyberwoman, Countryside is a really good episode of Torchwood. End of Days, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Adrift, Fragments and Exit Wounds. I can't remember all of which those episodes were. But of Doctor Who, of which they made him the showrunner, in the David Tennant era, the only episode he wrote was episode which was called 42. And then in the Matt Smith era, he wrote The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, which literally I think are the shittest episodes of the first season of Matt Smith. And then he wrote Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and if you remember it, The Power of Three, about those little cubes. And they saw those episodes and were like, they should put this guy in charge of everything.
They were smoking the same thing that Russell was smoking when they thought that bi-generation was a good idea.
Well, I think probably they were like, yeah, Broadchurch was great. And then he got Jodie Whittaker, who was in Broadchurch, and he's like, yeah, we'll make her the Doctor. This will be like a big statement. And then they just didn't write a single villain. Well, they wrote one villain in the first season of Jodie Whittaker, which was the guy that was just covered in teeth.
Yeah, it's just the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, literally.
That's all it was.
I mean, that's fun, actually. The Tooth Fairy as a cosmic horror villain.
No, literally, Kat, it's literally a bounty hunter who, after he kills someone, he takes their teeth out and sticks it to his face.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's stupid.
It is very stupid. You think that the idea of a Dalek is stupid? Wait till you see a guy walking around with teeth on his face. He looks like a budget version of Darth Maul.
Okay, so guys, before we wrap up, look, we've been very Doctor Who heavy, and I apologise if there's other stuff we haven't covered. But this comes up every time there's going to be a regeneration, and it's very heavily rumoured that at the end of this season of Doctor Who, that Ncuti Gatwa he's done with it, he's clearing off, he's going to regenerate. Apparently they're saying that they filmed his regeneration. I almost feel like they start this rumour just to get people interested to watch, so they can like pop a rating, as it were. But this rumour has come up ever since like David Tennant was going to regenerate. Every single time there's a new Doctor, apparently Billy Piper is being cast as the 16th Doctor. Every single time Rose Tyler is going to play the Doctor. It's not going to be true. If they do this, it is truly the end of time itself, because they've been saying this for so many years.
The single most dumbest idea.
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
I want them to do it only because I want to see 14th teaming up with the 16th for one episode.
14th teaming up with 16th. Okay, how about this? How about the 16th, played by Billy Piper, goes back in time and hooks up and bangs Rose Tyler? There you go. That isn't even incest. They're the same person. Right. But yeah.
Paradox, mate.
Paradox.
It gives a new meaning to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, so like, I don't know where they go next with who they cast. I don't know.
Mickey Mouse.
They should go. Me.
Me. I'll do it.
I'm flipping. Look. There we go.
I don't need a screwdriver. I have my hands.
Make me a Will Smith sidekick.
Chris Pratt.
Oh my God.
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney, the Doctor. But the other rumors Go on.
Although I would say for Doctor Who, I think they should do some good British celebrity casting. I would say not just British actors that are known to the British people, but internationally, if they ever want to get Doctor Who.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
I'm really in favour of a similar situation to Matt Smith. Cast a virtual unknown, cast someone younger. Like, Ncuti Gatwa isn't at all old, so you need someone that's younger and got energy and stuff.
I'm going to say a name right now because it's going to piss off half the people watching. High Tenant.
Who?
High Tenant.
Is that his
David's
son?
son. Yeah.
No. Right, no, look. Right.
Nah.
So, he was in Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Like,
With
I
Matt
haven't
Smith.
seen it. He might be good, he might not. But, so, what I don't like is it's becoming like this weird, like, family heir thing. Because the 5th Doctor was Peter Davison, who, his daughter played the Doctor's daughter, met David Tennant, then they got married. Now, I don't think Ty Tennant is actually his son, though, is it? Or is it? Or is it her son?
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, right, because I know that they'd already got, like, she'd got a kid or something. But, yeah, so, I don't know, just keeping it too much in the family.
Just cast Liam Neeson.
No, I tell you what, if you're going to do that, John Pertwee's son, what's his name? He was Alfred in...
Sean.
Sean Pertwee, right?
He won't do it. He won't do it.
But,
Yeah, he won't do it. He said he would never do it.
He'd never do
well,
it.
just offer him enough money. Look at this dude, right? He literally looks like his dad.
Now he looks like his dad, but no, I don't think he should do it.
No.
Ugh. Fine. Right.
Leave
okay.
leave John alone.
Yeah.
Okay, then do a whole season with Rowan Atkinson.
No, that would besmirch the name of Mr. Bean.
No,
I want it.
You would
Mr.
watch
Bean
him,
is
and you
bigger
would
than
only
Mr.
ever see Mr. Bean.
Yes, but I don't care. I would see Blackadder too.
You know what? I need him to come back for one episode and go meet Blackadder.
Yeah, bring back Blackadder.
Yes, I'm for that.
It's not his doctor meeting Blackadder throughout history.
Do you remember when there was going to be that storyline that was actually Russell T Davies' idea, where J.K. Rowling was going to be in it as herself, and there was a monster bringing the Harry Potter characters to life?
Wait, seriously? That was a thing?
That was 100%
Yeah, that was
a real thing. And I think he pitched it, but she didn't go for it, so it didn't happen.
Is that where they went with Agatha Christie instead? So they could get away with it?
But you know what? Like, in 100 years' time, I think a story like that could work. But I just think if you take the thing that's famous at the moment, because they've kind of done this, like the TV show Red Dwarf did something where they went into a soap opera, which one of the actors was also in, and it was just shit that they did that.
If I remember correctly, the Harry Potter thing was the Doctor was going to meet the Dementors, and they were trying to get Rupert Grint to play Ron on that episode as well.
Ugh, terrible. Right, anyway, guys.
I think there are several theories of like Harry Potter characters being other characters, like Miss McGonagall being Mary Poppins, and I'm pretty sure there's one where one of the wizard teachers is considered to be the Doctor.
What?
Nope.
No, I don't remember that one.
You've been on drugs. You've been on drugs again. I don't think that.
You've been smoking the same thing that Russell T Davies
I'll
has
tell
been
you what,
smoking, mate.
But Missy in Doctor Who was based somewhat on Mary
Yeah,
Poppins.
Missy was Mary Poppins. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
Just Google, is there any fan theories of Harry Potter characters being Doctor Who? Just Google it.
There is. David Tennant was in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Barty Crouch.
Right. Anyway.
Junior.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's wrap things up here. So, Dev, where can the people find you?
They can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my geek recommendation is go watch Stitch, the best live action Disney movie so far.
Wow. Okay.
That's Twister!
Okay. Dave.
Well, you can find me here on Xstreamed on various shows. And if you want to see more stuff like I've been doing in the background here, you can find me at my YouTube channel, Dave MC Gaming, where I do Let's Plays and live streams of various games. We have our Black Mesa series wrapping up in a couple days, and Terminator will be starting very soon. So please come along and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that, because at 150 subscribers, I will be doing a Jedi Survivor Let's Play, and I will not stop until I finish the game. So please come along to my channel and watch me do all sorts of hijinks.
Okay, Cap.
You can find me on Swantees, where I sing and dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And I also work with this Muppet, Dave, where he plays the gorilla and answers the question, who would win in a fight? 100 men versus 1 gorilla. So go check Sketch out, and you can also find me here on numerous shows, and also on Dave's channel, talking about Assassin's Creed for the Kenways. And my geeky recommendation, yeah, go watch Midnight. It's great.
Okay, fabulous. My name is David Pstansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. Go to www.xstreamed.tv, where you'll be able to find out about all the shows, including Geek Battle, Extreme Improv, Slam Jam. You'll be able to find links to get Geek Battle merch, where it actually won't be green screened out of shop. And with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme.